Good morning, everyone, and welcome. So that was about the longest sitting in your seat march I've ever heard, but everybody hopefully has walked into the room and sitting comfortably. I wanted to go over just a couple of quick things. We've had some technical difficulties, so I'd ask everybody to remain muted and with your videos off to conserve bandwidth. So hopefully we can get everything presented as we had hoped. So I'm just going to get started then with my presentation. So I want to welcome again everybody to the 2020 BME graduation ceremony. My name is Art Jamitro. I'm the professor and department head in BME. And I'd like to start by recognizing our students who have worked hard and gone through a lot, especially over the last couple of months, to be here today. We know that it's been challenging, but you guys have stepped up and done what you've needed to do to achieve this milestone. It is my distinct pleasure on behalf of the BME department and the University of Arizona to congratulate you on a job well done. So applause from the audience and from everybody I'm sure that is watching the show is delighted and happy for one another. Next, I'd like to introduce the faculty that are here today joining us. Dr. Jennifer Barton is a professor and founding department head in BME. She's currently the director of Bio 5 and a world expert in the area of OCT, optical coherence tomography. Dr. Erica Eggers is associate professor, works in the area of neurophysiology. Dr. Beth Hutchinson is an assistant professor. She works in the area of MRI and neuroimaging. Dr. Dong-Kyun Kang, he goes by DK, everybody calls him that, is an assistant professor and works in the area of optical imaging. Dr. Min-Kyu Kim is an assistant professor and works on advanced biomaterials. Dr. Terry Matsunaga is a professor who works in the area of microbubbles and ultrasound. Dr. Marek Romanowski is an associate professor, works in nanoparticles and biophysics. Dr. Ted Truart is a professor, works in MRI, particularly in imaging the brain. Dr. Urs Utzinger is an associate professor and associate department head for undergraduate affairs. He works in the area of optical instrumentation. Dr. Zhongyul Yoon is a professor and associate department head for graduate affairs who works in the area of sensors and devices. And Zhongyul, you'll be happy to hear that you have won the most supportive senior faculty award from our students. So congratulations on that accolade.
Oh, thank you so much.
Dr. Frederick Zenhausen is a professor. He works in the area of biosensors and biomedical devices, and he has the distinction of being the father of one of the graduates, Brian Zenhausen. So congratulations to both of you. And last but not least, Dr. Yitzhak Zohar is a professor and works in the area of fluid mechanics. Usually everybody is seated on a stage and clapping and being introducing themselves and being part of the show, but we'll do it virtually today. So bear with us and hopefully everything will go smoothly. Next, I wanted to introduce the staff. They have really worked tirelessly to keep this ship afloat and to adapt to the challenging circumstances that everyone realizes that we've been under over the last several months. Carrie Sonnenberg is the head of the Engineering Business Center. Ali Posada is an administrative associate that keeps me on track. Mia Schnabel is somebody who keeps everybody on track. Dorothy Ashton is our financial guru. Manuela Garrido is an accountant. She's new, the newest member of the team. And Sandra Smith works in the area of human resources. I especially want to give a shout out to our two academic advisors. Andrea Anduaga is the graduate academic advisor, and she'll be happy to hear that she was awarded the most supportive staff member. So congratulations to you. Very good, for very good work in our graduate program. And last but not least, Diana Wilson, who's our undergraduate academic advisor. She holds hands, blows noses, keeps everybody smiling and on track to finish. Without her, I think it would have been a challenge for all of the students, and I believe you'd agree with that. So congratulations to Diana for a job well done. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge the parents, the grandparents, other family members, friends, and significant others celebrating with us today. You've all done a fantastic job of supporting your students and guiding them through a lifetime of challenges, not just the recent one we've had. So, today is truly a celebration, and we are here to celebrate the significant accomplishments of these amazing young men and women. The faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, and your peers assembled here today are so proud of you for the hard work you've done and the determination you've shown in completing your BME degree at the University of Arizona. You know, that said about the celebration, it's hard to avoid talking about not bringing up the topic of the pandemic. All of us gathered here today will continue to face a significant challenge. The world, I think, essentially turned upside down in about a week's time around spring break. I don't think any of you anticipated that when you left for spring break, you would not be returning to campus to finish up your degrees. Over spring break, I was up in Utah having a great time skiing with my sons. Towards the end of that week, it was becoming clear, however, that the situation here at the U of A and around the world was changing very rapidly. So I flew back on a Saturday to help organize the COVID response for our department. Sunday, I started feeling ill, and by Monday, I had all the symptoms of having contracted COVID-19. Low-grade fever, dry cough, headache, etc. You've heard all the symptoms. I got a COVID-19 test, hard to do, hard to find at that time, but my doctor's office had three tests, and I got one of them, and turned out to be positive. I got the results 10 days later from taking it, so nothing was moving very fast there in testing. But I've recovered, and I've volunteered for the COVID-19, the U of A COVID-19 antibody study that showed that I have high antibody levels to the disease. So that's a good thing. And in the short run, I am disease-free and happy. The reason I bring this up is that I learned a great deal during that period of turmoil and recovery from the disease. I wanted to share some thoughts with you. Firstly, I think what is totally clear to me is that do not take anything for granted. You just never know when things are going to make a change in an instant. You could have a car accident, you could have a fatal disease. Things can happen very rapidly. So don't take things for granted. Don't take anything for granted. And a corollary to that is appreciate what you have, because we all, I know, have so much to be thankful for. I would also like to say that I learned to I think I've known this for a long time, but to surround myself with people that I trust. And try to be one of those people that others can trust as well. This was extremely important when I came back to the campus and to being department head and trying to see where things were. I realized that my team had really done everything. The faculty had learned how to teach online. The staff had picked up the ball and gone with what needed to be done. So I was just delighted, and it's because I could trust everybody that worked out so well. Another thing I like to re-emphasize, I think we all know, is to try to take the time to connect, reach out to those you know and love. I don't think you can really appreciate it how, I think we've all felt very isolated, but at times some are more isolated than others. And reaching out, just that phone call, that conversation can really change your person's attitude and outlook at the time. Another thing that's happened with all of this is to be able to appreciate when life slows down a little bit and make sure you let it slow down. I think, some of us get a little bit bored hanging around and stuck in the house, but enjoy that time. It's a time that can be used for lots of things. Another thing I learned was that Zoom works pretty well and is a very efficient way to communicate. I think we've been maintaining our jobs, most of us, via Zoom. I don't know if the students would agree, but I think the faculty really stepped up in terms of switching over in a very short time to online learning format. So I congratulate the faculty and I congratulate all the students for helping to work through this difficult time in terms of your education. Zoom works pretty well, but it can't do everything. I think you can't replace hands-on learning. Some things you really only learn by doing. And so I think some of our lab classes may have suffered a bit, and we'll take that into stride and learn how to teach in an environment as we go forward, all of our material. But hopefully we'll maintain a focus on the design, build, and do kind of philosophy. Another thing I've learned is to diversify your life. Financial people always tell you to diversify your portfolio. I think you should also consider diversifying your life in terms of finding new things that you enjoy and expanding your pool of friends and colleagues. Be open to new opportunities. I have to say that one thing I learned the hard way was don't rely too heavily on the supply chain. my daughter tried to send my wife a present for taking such good care of me over the time I was sick. And so she ordered those white earbuds that go into ears. And she told me that she was sending them and gave me the tracking number. So I went online and I looked and I saw that they started in China, gone to Hong Kong, then to Anchorage, then to Dubai, then to Louisville, Kentucky, then to Cohen, Germany, then back to Louisville, Kentucky, then to Phoenix, getting closer, and finally to Tucson, where they were lost for about a week before we got them. So that one is definitely, don't trust the supply chain too heavily. Finally, I have a couple of things that I learned from nurses that are in a COVID ward. That includes my daughter, and her roommate. So I asked them, what's it like working in a COVID ward? What did you learn from this pandemic and this challenge that we've all been under? And my sister's roommate, Catherine, said, attitude matters. That's pretty profound. That has a lot going for it. It's both your own attitude, it's the attitude of the people you're around. I really take that one to heart. My daughter told me that she looked at me straight in the eye over Zoom and said, you can't do it alone. You need a team to be able to get through these kinds of difficult times. And I think that's absolutely true. We have, which sort of is a prompt for the capstone projects teams that you saw at the end of the video there. All of the awards that we won, I think 12 capstone projects had BME students on them that won awards, including the Craig M. Burge Award, which is the best overall project, and the Raytheon Award, which is for best design. So congratulations to really the whole class of you seniors that had your world turned upside down, especially in terms of the capstone design project of actually being able to build and present and do that. I think you did a great job of doing it in your presentations, and I congratulate you on that. So switching gears a little bit, I wanted to just say that, this is a time of translation in your life, and you are entering a very uncertain world. Some of you are going to graduate school, some of you are starting a new job, some of you are looking for a job. And there's no denying that all of those things, moving on to graduate programs, starting a new job, looking for a job, are stressful. And no matter what happens, though, in the short term, I think if you persevere and work hard like you've done in your undergraduate degree, I firmly believe you will be successful in realizing the career that you want for yourself. You are all well educated, you're well trained and highly motivated. Remember, you are engineers, and engineers solve problems. We all know there are plenty of problems to solve out there. This pandemic has certainly taught us that. I have been amazed how rapidly the engineering and science communities across this campus, across the country, and really across the world have stepped up to address the existential challenge of COVID-19. And I'm confident that each and every one of you will be similarly able to have a significant impact on solving many important problems that we face. I want you also to know that the BME faculty and staff are still here to help you. Reach out if you are hitting dead ends in your job search. Ask for advice or for help in making contacts for jobs. We, like your parents, have invested an awful lot of time and energy in helping to educate you, and we want you to be successful in applying your education and having a productive and rewarding life. Finally, I'll end with my Jamitro's top 10 list of advice for graduating students. So, first, continue to build your intellectual foundation. It's about lifelong learning. It's about continuing your education well past any formal education in college or anything like that. So, lifelong learning, intellectual foundation, continue to build. Focus on developing your areas of expertise. You've got a broad education now at the undergraduate level, and you're going to go in graduate school or in a job and focus a little bit more carefully on topic areas. So build those things that you're good at. That will be very important in your career as you go forward. Don't be afraid to fail, but be sure to learn from it when you do. And be sure to own it as well. Challenge your assumptions. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come when we kind of go back to fundamentals and challenge what we think are the assumptions and the absolute truisms. This one might be the most important. Define your core values. Look to your parents and your friends for examples of what you really respect in people. and try to incorporate that into your core values. And don't compromise on those core values. That's the essence of who you are. Try to be flexible and adaptive. Our world, your world, is changing ever more rapidly, and so that is an important skill and personality trait. And finally, embrace diversity. You often learn the most from those who are different than yourself. Last two, and this is more the parent in me than maybe the department head. Take care of yourself. Eat right, exercise, have fun. Look out for your mental as well as your physical well-being. And stop and smell the roses sometimes. Many of us are type A, or as my wife refers to it, as type A minus personalities. She's right about the minus part sometimes. You got to see and hear the hummingbird, not just be the hummingbird. So thank you very much for coming. I'm glad that all the students and parents and friends and faculty can participate in this. And next we want to go on to a statement by Dr. Dean Hahn. Dean Hahn. He is our Dean of the College, the Craig M. Burge Dean of the College of Engineering. He just started in this position as Dean less than a year ago. So he certainly walked into a firestorm here, but he's just done an excellent job. His personality is outstanding in terms of supporting people and communicating what's going on. So next we're gonna hear a few words from Dean Hahn.
Welcome to the 2020 convocation of the Department of Biomedical Engineering. I'm David Hahn, the Craig M. Burge Dean of the College of Engineering. As engineering students, you're taking the final steps after years of hard work to becoming an official Wildcat Engineering graduate. I want to congratulate each of you. You've accomplished so much to get here. You've overcome obstacles and you've enjoyed great success. Today is a story of your triumphs and a celebration of your success as a student and as an engineer. Like all of you, I was looking forward to my first Wildcat graduation ceremony and to your department's convocation celebration. We are all here today virtually, but our spirit remains just as strong. We will have plenty of opportunities to get together in the future, including homecoming in the fall. For now, give thanks to your family and friends for their support and enjoy the moment that you've all worked hard towards. Congratulations, go Cats.
So next we're going to have a presentation, a talk by our outstanding senior, and that is Brandon Nguyen. And he is the outstanding senior. He's been working in Dr. Yoon's lab, in the biosensors lab. He served as an honors college ambassador and for 2 years as an engineering ambassador. He's a member of the Engineering Student Council and most recently served as president of the Biomedical Undergraduate Mentoring Program. Brandon is continuing at the U of A this fall to pursue an accelerated master's degree in biomedical engineering before attending medical school. And good luck on that, Brandon.
Good morning, graduates and families. Today marks a massive achievement for all of us. This may not have been the way that you pictured your graduation when you began college. And though we may not be walking across the stage together, we are most certainly not alone. As I look back on the past 4 years, I think of all the people that have helped me along the way. Diana and Andrea, you have been shoulders for all of us to lean on and have always had your doors open when we were in need. For that, I am forever grateful. To the faculty, for the hours you have put in, to our education, the countless students you have taken under your wings, and the work you put in to ensure that we still learned during this pandemic. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, to the parents and families of my peers, thank you for letting us come home and do laundry, for pushing us, and for always having our backs. To my peers, today is about you and your achievement, but I hope you can take a moment to reflect on those who helped you through college and pick up the phone to reach out and say thanks. Now, many commencement speakers will talk about following your dreams and never giving them up, but now is not the time for dreaming. The world needs bright young people like us to go and get things done. No one will know the work and effort we must put in, but they will know that we are doing something great. As you look around, the world may seem filled with uncertainty and fear. I challenge you all, graduates who will have a massive impact on the way healthcare is shaped, to harness this uncertainty for good. We are presented with the opportunity to lead by example, to show those who will come after us what can be achieved, even under the most difficult circumstances. You need not look further than our senior design capstones recently completed. After nearly a year of hard work and stress over deadlines and presentations, we were presented with a unique challenge that no other projects had faced before: a global pandemic. Instead of accepting defeat, I saw many of you produce the most outstanding projects in the entire college, setting the standard for what can be achieved. You should all be proud of the work you have done. Your determination is inspiring and reassuring. When the challenges come, I hope you remember that deep within you all is the ability to learn and grow. Making mistakes is part of being human, but your mistakes and stumbles will never define you. Getting a failing grade on an exam or submitting a paper late may have led to a few gray hairs, but here you are today, defined not by your failures, but by your success. Lastly, I am reminded of something Brad Pitt recently said. If you see a chance to be kind to someone tomorrow, take it. Donate your time, lend a hand, mentor others. A little kindness goes a long way. Congratulations on your achievement, and as always, bear down.
Okay. Next, we're going to have a presentation by Marissa Lopez-Peer. She's the BME graduate speaker. She's one of the original BME undergraduates to go on to our PhD program. She's worked with Dr. Canjilas and his lab for several years and will be completing her PhD there. She's already hired as a scientist at Roche Ventana here in Tucson. She's been a stellar student and mentor and has always been willing to help in any capacity. So we've been lucky to have her as a student here.
Congratulations and welcome everybody to our virtual graduation. Thank you to all the grandparents, parents, siblings, and extended family for joining us here today. Also, thank you for your support and love through all of these years. I'd also like to extend a warm thank you to the faculty and our department for supporting us as well as motivating us to be the best that we can. I remember when I first stepped onto the U of A campus way back in 2010. I was an eager freshman ready to digest all that we had for the newly designed biomedical engineering program. I love the engineering department as well as culture so much that I also decided to join the task force known as Engineering Ambassadors. Here, I was able to interact with our community and also inspire future engineers on campus for the BME program. Also, through the engineering department, I was lucky enough to get to know as well as integrate into the graduate student GIDP program. Through these friends as well as mentors, I learned a lot about our research community on campus and the local industry within Tucson. As an undergraduate, I didn't stop there. I also jumped on the opportunity to study abroad. During my studies abroad, I was able to explore research in Stuttgart, Germany, as well as obtain an industrial position with Roche Ltd. At Rotkreuz, Switzerland. When I came back to the US, I was determined to finish my undergraduate studies with a German minor, and it served me well. In addition to the valuable time I spent abroad, the years I spent with the Dr. John Canjilas Laboratory were the foundation of my graduate studies and my success here today. While my lab mates were a joy to work with, I was also fortunate enough to only work a few hundred feet away from my mother. My family, as well as my mother, I am very thankful for, and they are the reason I'm so passionate about my career today. So thank you very much. Kisses and hugs. Graduate school, as you all may know, has a high learning curve. but was one of the most rewarding experiences I went through. It teaches you to be creative, work as a team, laugh with lab mates when you make stupid mistakes, work through those frustrating drawbacks in order to reach that end goal, and finally, teaches you to not only think within the bounds, but reach outside of them. I not only became a subject matter expert on the realm of heart physiology and menopause, but I think I was a substantial mentor to my minions and taught them a little something about physiology and, of course, biomedical engineering. So thank you for all of your help, minions. Through my 10 years of education here at the U of A, I finally know why I came here in the first place. It was to meet all of you. It was also to grow with all of you and become the next generation of engineers who promise to always strive to be ethical in our work, passionate about our careers, and courageous in innovating the next best thing. We also should all keep in our thoughts how we plan to influence and reach out to support our local communities, because we should never forget that our department, our research, our clubs, and our local foundations are why we are here today. So, thank you all for your time, and please, please, please bask in this moment and celebrate all you've accomplished. We all deserve this, and we will all persevere through these uncertain times. And thank you so much, and cheers to the class of 2020.
Okay, next we're going to hear from Diana Wilson, who is going to present something about our bums who have been such an integral part of the department. So, and thank you both to Andrea and Diana for all you do in terms of our students' support and in many, many ways. So Diana, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize some students that have meant a lot to the biomedical engineering department, anywhere from the last 1.5 to almost 3 years. And these are the biomedical undergraduate mentors, and they're part of our BUMP program. We commonly refer to them as the BUMs, affectionately so. And I just wanted to be able to give them all a special shout out today as part of our graduation ceremonies, because they're actually all graduating today. So I want everyone to get to say hello to each of these wonderful mentors who have meant an incredible amount to me, because they kind of serve as a sounding board. They help me think outside the box. They help me come up with ideas for how to reach out to our younger students. And they are kind of the eyes and ears of the department for me. So we're incredibly grateful. There's a lot we couldn't do without their help. And I hope everybody will join me in thanking them and in honoring them today as graduates. So I want to do a special shout out to Kyle Johnson and Brandon Nguyen and Vina Nguyen, Cody Thibner, Audrey Cohen, and Connor Maxwell. And these are the students, along with Josh Pace, who graduated in December from biomedical engineering, who have been part of the BUM program. And I know that the faculty join me in thanking you for all the work that you've done in helping our freshmen and sophomore students by answering questions, meeting with them one-on-one, referring them to resources, and also just giving them some really good advice to help bring them up through the ranks in biomedical engineering. So we would thank you, and we honor you today as you graduate and head on into the next adventures you have in the world. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing that we want to do, hi everybody, it's Diana here live in the old engineering building that's pretty empty except for Andrea, Dr. Dimitro and I. And I just wanted to take on a role that normally is done on stage by our academic affairs staff, but again, we're just going with it today, right? So we have 2 students that'll be graduating this year that are part of a really integral program in this college, the Engineering Ambassadors. And the Engineering Ambassadors are the group of students who, you know, you as parents may have even had contact with at a recruitment event somewhere, especially if you're from Arizona. They are the ones who talk to high school students, they talk to prospective students, they allow them to shadow them. They really are an incredible group of interdisciplinary students from all majors. We have a lot of biomedical engineers in the program, which is wonderful because a lot of high school students definitely are interested in biomedical engineering. So today we want to honor 2 students, and the first one that I want to recognize is Kylie Slater. She's a senior graduating this year in biomedical engineering, and she has a minor in mechanical engineering. She's from Glendale and went to Mountain Ridge High School. She's been an engineering ambassador for 3 years, and that's a really big commitment because they spend an awful lot of time helping the college bring in our next classes. And some of the highlights for Kylie include being a member of the Women Engineers Society, the Medical Device Club, the Arizona Youth University. She was an instructor for that. And she also conducted research at the U of A College of Medicine. And her plans for after graduation is that she is still searching for that perfect job, which I am sure Kylie is waiting right around the corner for you. So let's talk. And second, I want to highlight a familiar face that you just saw, Brandon Nguyen. He is also an engineering ambassador and has done that for the last 2 years for the college. So we thank him for his service around that as well. I think every time I saw Kylie and Brandon on campus here in the building, they were wearing an ambassador shirt and were off to be shadowed in a class or attend an interest session. So I know their dedication is fabulous. You actually already heard Dr. Dimitro talk about Brandon, so I don't want to repeat the same things. We just really appreciate his service as an ambassador. He was also an Honors College ambassador and of course worked with me in the BUM program and was this year the president for the program. So he did a lot of coordination for me, and we're super excited that Brandon is actually going to stay with us this next year and work on his master's degree while applying to medical school. So congratulations to the both of you. On behalf of Academic Affairs, Dean Bajans, Dean Hahn and the college, we're just very grateful for your service in that area. Thank you, you two.
Thank you both. Tremendous effort.
All right.
Okay, so now we're switching over, right, to the awarding.
No, actually, I have a few things to say.
Okay, all right.
Still Diana's show.
That's okay. You know, normally this is, as I tell everybody, a couple of things often that know me. I've been the undergraduate advisor since we graduated the first class of biomedical undergraduate students in 2013. So this is the 8th year that we are graduating students. And now, of course, we have the grads in the department as well. So it's nice that we get to all celebrate together. I first really want to thank Andrea Anduaga. I don't know what I would do without her. I don't know that we would have had a ceremony this morning without her. We are definitely a frickin' frack team in terms of working well together. And I know that she would join me in saying that we're so grateful for the support of our faculty, Dr. Dimitro, all of our chairs, all of our folks that teach our undergraduate and graduate students. As you know, we try to be fierce supporters of our students and advocates, and sometimes that probably gets a little bit under people's skin, but I think we work together as a really good team in this department. And I really think that it's pretty interesting to me that we get to work in such a small department on this campus. That's an incredible gift. Every other college is having a really big virtual graduation, and we have this unique opportunity to really do the best we can in very unusual circumstances to put you know, a personal touch on this. Not being able to be with you all today is, as you guys know, pretty hard. I was going to record this, but Andrea convinced me not to.
I know. It's heated though, Diana, because if you were on stage right now, you'd be crying too.
I miss you all, and I just want to tell the parents, thank you for trusting me with your kids here on campus. I consider all of our graduates my babies, and I hope that they stay in touch with me because I really love watching their journeys and watching what they're doing. We had a student that graduated from our program finish the College of Medicine yesterday, and I got to watch her virtually graduate yesterday. And seeing Marissa graduate with her master's today and Bino, or with her PhD, excuse me, oh my gosh, Marissa, and Bina with your master's, it's just, I am bursting with pride because I feel like I have all these extra children as part of my life. And I hope you parents know how much your students, your children have meant to me and to our department. It's pretty incredible. I know this is not the ceremony you expected. It's certainly not the ceremony you deserved. We would have wanted to do so much more. As I told you guys, you will be getting some goodies in the mail. You know, your honors cords for those of you with a 3.5 and over, and a plaque and a photo board. All those things will be coming your way, I promise, as well as your diploma will be coming in the mail. But I just want to acknowledge that I know that this has been a roller coaster ride for all of us. Working at home with 2 teenagers, homeschooling has been an adventure, and it was definitely an adjustment at first, but it's something that we settled into. And I want to say the same about you all. You really, especially the seniors, dealt with some pretty challenging times better than I would have ever imagined. And I guess when you think about it on the other end, what you can consider is that you will have developed some resilience much earlier on in your life dealing with something like this. And there is a gift in that. You might be looking for all those gifts, but I promise that you will find them and that they will serve you well as you go forward. But I also want to acknowledge that it is okay to feel sad about this time. It is okay to know that your suffering is real and that it isn't something to compare to others. Yes, there are a lot of people hurting right now and in real meaningful ways. But what I think is so incredible about you as biomedical engineers is that you're going to be able to actually leverage what you've done here and what you've learned here to go out into the world and be able to actually make improvements to human health that will have lasting impacts on generations to come. So please, while you're thinking about all these things, you know, just be so proud of yourself and your accomplishments, as I know your families are as well. You know, face-to-face conversations is something that I value and I treasure over everything, which is why just seeing everybody on Zoom has been so difficult for me. I think the introverts are having their heyday, but for those of us that rely on being around people, which actually we all need, this has been an extra challenging time. So just know that I am holding you all in my heart today and virtually hugging every one of you. And parents, again, I just want to thank you for everything that you have done for your students, everything that you've done to support them during a time that, you know, you never imagined college graduation would end this way, especially if this is your first student graduating from college. We definitely invite you all to come back at homecoming, and students can choose to come then, or they can even participate in our December or next May graduation, you know, pending everything being the way that we want it to be. And it's that uncertainty that is probably an ambiguity that's probably the most difficult thing for a lot of students and a lot of humans to deal with. And having moved a lot, lived abroad, been around to a lot of different places and dealt with a lot of uncertainty, I think, you know, for me, this time has been okay, and I've been able to be a support for others, and that's been meaningful. And I know that you guys are doing that for your friends and your family members as well as a community. So I just can't thank you enough as parents. I can't thank the faculty enough for the support, and our staff that are also here watching today for allowing us to do the work with students that we do. And I could say more, but I'll sign off so that we can get to the best part, and that is recognizing all of our graduates today. So thank you very, very much on behalf of Andrea and myself.
Great, thank you very much, Diana. Very heartfelt. So we move on to the next phase of graduation where you walk up on the stage, you get your diploma, and we shake your hand. No, I forgot we're doing this virtually. So you're going to be doing that virtually, but through the mechanism of the computer and seeing your slides. So our first graduate is coming up. Ahmed Al-Aid. He is finishing up, and so basically you guys can look at the slides and give the information rather than me trying to read it. The next graduate is Karm Al-Haj Woosh, and she is, I guess I'm not sure what to say in terms of I can't read the slides fast enough, so I'm just going to read the names. Hussein Al-Hardwish is the next graduate. Muhammad Al-Harbi. Ali Al-Ghoraihi. Dana Bernhardt. Sherry Bjornholm. Sierra Bracamonte. Bailey Buchanan, who is graduating magna cum laude. Andre Collejo Hernandez, sorry. Audrey Cohn, who's graduating summa cum laude. Skylar Davidson, who is also graduating summa cum laude. Kareem Fajardo Cortez. Andrew Filuberte. Anna Gerson, who is graduating summa cum laude. Alana Gonzalez, who is graduating cum laude. Sohil Gopal, who is graduating cum laude. Matthew Grimes is graduating magna cum laude. Jacob Hegeman. Kyle Johnson, who is graduating summa cum laude. Dina Khaled, who is graduating cum laude. Cassandra Kimball. Zaina Kamed. Sarah Lax, who's graduating cum laude. Jacob Mapp. Connor Maxwell. Ryan McNamara, who's graduating summa cum laude. Emily Monroe. Jacqueline Niesman. Brandon Nguyen, who's graduating summa cum laude. Martin Nemitz, who's graduating magna cum laude. Alejandro Ortega, who's graduating summa cum laude. Mihir Patel. John Patterson. Nancy Pham, graduating cum laude. Lindsay Pruitt, who's graduating cum laude. Frank Angel Sarvine. Jacob Sindorf, who's graduating summa cum laude. Kylie Slater, who's graduating magna cum laude. Bridget Slomka. Hunter Spellis, who's graduating cum laude. Desiree Stannerson. Cody Thiebner, graduating cum laude. Teodoro Trujejo. Nathan Up, who's graduating cum laude, sorry. Diana Vargas Lopez. Christine Wiltbank, who's graduating summa cum laude. Ryan Zenhauser, who's graduating cum laude. And James Zhu Wang, who's graduating magna cum laude. That finishes up our undergraduate seniors graduating with their Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering. Next, we'll move on to the Master of Science, award of degree. Bina Nguyen. Congratulations, Bina. And graduating with their Doctor of Philosophy degree, which is the highest honors, and we usually do the hooding ceremony and all of that, which we'll miss today. Was I muted? No. Okay. So that ends the awarding of degrees. I can't hear you. Excuse me, one sec.
Go back to Marissa.
I'll go back to Marissa. That one didn't show up.
No, we just couldn't hear you because somehow there was feedback.
Oh, I think my phone rang. I should have turned it off. Sorry about that, Marissa. Okay, Doctor of Philosophy, hooding ceremony, Dr. Marissa Lopez Pierre. Yeah. And last but not least, we're getting her PhD degree, Sparky Alice Sweeto. Dr. Sparky Alice Sweeto. Congratulations. So I want to say thank you really to everyone that's participated in this event, especially the students, and congratulate you once again. I think you've all done a fantastic job. You have a great outlook in life and a great attitude to start your careers with. We're going to miss you and would like to hear back from you whenever you're in town or around the area, or just drop by or send an email. So what we're going to do at the end is have all the students turn on their videos. So make sure you're looking presentable. And that will allow us to kind of do a virtual walk-off of, there'll be multiple pages, I think, of the views. So all the students turn on. If you go up into the right-hand corner of your Zoom page, you'll turn it into the multi-mode of viewing.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
I'm not seeing the multi-mode. Anyway, I'm hoping that the students are scrolling by and you can basically, there should be multiple pages of video information.
I'm going to take screenshots that we will send to everybody, okay? So just hang on tight.
All right. Is everybody seeing everybody else in terms of the students?
Faculty and students can definitely, let's see y'all.
Awesome, guys. I love you guys.
Oh, look at that.
Vina, I thought you were not going to be here.
Put your, yeah, you can also move your tassel from left to right if you're wearing a cap.
Oh, right, I forgot. Tassel goes over, virtual tassel. Many of you have real tassels over to the right side. Now you are a graduate, college graduate. Your parents are so proud. We are so proud. I think everybody in the world is proud of you right now, and hoping that you guys will be the answer, the solution. So
look at Vina.
Congratulations.
Congrats, everyone. I wish I could play the Bear Down song while seeing everybody, but, you know, technical difficulties.
So that's pretty incredible. We got 7 pages of students showing up, with many of you having your regalia on. Everybody looking very good.
Okay, I'm gonna, at the risk of total chaos, I'm gonna unmute everybody. So you can mute yourself back if you want, but I wanted to give the graduates a chance to just say hooray and celebrate for a minute, okay?
Woo!
Thank you, Diana. We love you.
Thank you, everyone. Congrats.
Thank you.
See you all.
Kisses.
Video on.
Oh.
Sohill.
Upper room for those of us that remember that.
Thank you all for being here.
Big Wilma.
Where you all are.
Diana.
This is incredible, guys.
My entire day.
For joining us from Saudi Arabia.
Best tutor ever.
He's blocking the screen.
I wish I was joining your party.
Hey,
Blocking the screen.
Andrew. Oh, this is the best part of the day. Oh, Alejandro. Wow, Alejandro gets the prize for best spirit.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Go, girl. Oh, hi, honey.
Get up. Thank you.
Here.
Physically distant way, please.
If I should pull over and make sure this shit stops. Thank you. Pull over and take a look, make sure everything's still secure up there.
There's me. So happy. There's Audrey and her Kathy.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats, everyone.
Have your cap and gown. You should just wear it all weekend, okay?
Congratulations, Tony.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes.
Is that Hannah in the bottom corner?
Mandó el video por el correo. Ahora sí. So it's going to be changed.
Give up, okay?
I don't know where it would be.
Acá llamamos a ver si se puede, si se conecta. Size, efficient for every
Making me smile, everybody.
doctor. Special 2 more years.
He's going to go to medical school and
I would end it. So.
Felicitaciones, mi amor.
Linda, felicitaciones, mi muñeca.
Felicitaciones, nena. ¿Por qué no ha salido en el video?
No sal- No, pero no te viste.
André,
No, yo la tengo prendida,
Pero ahorita están saliendo ahí varios.
pero no saliste, yo estaba pendiente. ¡Ay,
Ya te vi.
eso!
Ahora sí, ahora sí.
Ay,
¿Y
mi
por qué no
amor.
sale abajo en el recuadro? Sí, abajo donde está
En la pantalla principal.
donde está Diana. Ah,
¿Qué, mi amor?
muy bien, mi amor, felicitaciones.
Felicitaciones, mi
Estamos muy
muñeca
orgullosos de
hermosa.
ti, mi amor.
Entonces, la otra ceremonia?
I want to say thank you to
Está
everybody.
por el mismo link.
Andrea is saying that we're going to shut down a minute or so. Everybody for coming. Thank you very much. Congratulations to our graduates. And good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you all.